ninth graders, if I could get your attention, we are going to talk about your registration for next year. Believe it or not, we are going to be picking classes already for next year. So kind of exciting. All of your materials that you will need to register are going to be located in 2 spots. The first spot is on Schoology. All of you are in a group called the WHS Guidance Office. Within that group, if you click on Resources, you are going to find a folder that says Class Registration Information. That has everything that you need in it. So everything you need for registration, college career planning, life after high school, everything that you need is going to be within that folder, okay? So make sure that you know where to find all of your resources. The other place you will find the registration information is on the website. There is a folder called Guidance Office within the high school page. So everything that you need is going to be in 2 spots. A couple of new courses that are going to be options for you guys for next year. If you have taken Weights 1 and Weights 2, you can take a Weights 3 class if you really love weights. So let's say, for example, you took Weights 1 this year. You could sign up for Weights 2 and Weights 3 for next year because Weights 2 will come before Weights 3, so you will have all of the prerequisites that you need. So Weights 3 is a new class. There's also a new option for an Intro to Sports officiating class. So if you are looking to start reffing or umping for youth sports, this is a really good option because it will give you some of the certifications that you need in order to be eligible to do that. Make sure you check out the description for this class and all the classes. This class especially has some more information on a fee and also some of the specifics on the certifications you'll be receiving. And then there's also a new fashion design class, so if that's something you're interested in, you can sign up for that as well. Within the registration handbook, there are descriptions for every class that we have offered here. Make sure that you look at those descriptions so you know exactly what you're signing up for. If you just pick classes based on the title, you might get into something that you maybe are not super interested in. So make sure that you read the description so you know exactly what the class includes. In that resources folder, you are going to find a registration worksheet. For those of you who were at the middle school last year, this is going to be the same type of worksheet that you filled out last year to help you actually sign up for your classes. The nice thing is that it walks you through all of your options. As you get into 10th, 11th, 12th grade, you now have more options that you can choose from. So this walks you through all of it, and it's very important that you look at it so that you choose the classes that you need for graduation. It would be really, really terrible to get to senior year and then find out that you didn't take 10th grade English, okay? So make sure that you follow those steps so you sign up for what you need. So for example, in English, you have the option to take regular English or pre-AP English, so just like this year. Social studies, you have a new option in that you can take regular U.S. history or you can take AP U.S. history. So again, some more choices that you get to make. Same thing for science. You can take biosystems and cell bio or AP biology. So that worksheet walks you all through your choices so that you can choose what you need to for each department. Fill it out thoroughly, because that's what you will use in order to sign up for your classes on Infinite Campus. And then make sure you double check that you have all of your prerequisites met so that if there's a course you need to take beforehand, that you get that course met. So this is what the registration worksheet looks like. Again, it starts out at the top with English, and you can look at your, science. Starts with science, so you can look at your choices to see which option you want to choose, and then goes through each section. When you get to math at the bottom, everybody is in such a different math track, so we just have all of the options listed. You can find more information out about math and the sequence and what you need to take within the registration handbook. There's also a really helpful document in that resources folder that lists out all of the classes that we offer and then what grade levels can take those classes. So if you just want to look through a list to see what your options are, you can pull up this document and it just shows you all of the classes that you as sophomores can take.
Okay, so last year you guys should have all checked out your registration handbook when we went through this material with you last year. If you are not familiar with that document, I wouldn't really encourage you to familiarize yourself with it. In there, it has every single requirement that you need for high school graduation. It talks about your options for future coursework. It lists out descriptions for every single class, okay? So if you're thinking about taking a course and you're wondering, what does video production entail? I have no idea, okay? Read that description. The teachers put it together. They do their best to give you kind of a brief overview of what that class is going to entail, okay? So again, I'd really encourage you to take a look at that. Read those descriptions. Make sure you know what you're getting into before you register for those classes and all of a sudden get into the first day and say, this isn't what I expected, okay? So do your research, do your homework, prepare yourselves as best as you can so that you know what you're getting into for your coursework, okay? In that handbook, which again you can find on Schoology or on the main Waconia High School website, it lists out every single graduation requirement that you need, okay? So if you say, what am I supposed to be taking, or what do I need right now? One, if you're following that registration guide and taking the core classes that you need, you're probably on track. But two, if you're wondering, what do I need by the time I'm a senior? This page has all of that information for you, okay? Everything that you need for English, science, social, human geography, speech, health, so on, fine art, PE, all of those things, okay? So use your resources. Those tools are there. Everybody has access to them. New graduation requirements for your class, okay? So there's going to be 2 new requirements for you. The first one is that personal finance is now a graduation requirement for you, okay? So this is something that needs to be taken anytime between your sophomore and your senior year. It's just something that you have to have done before graduation, okay? So think of personal finance as you would speech, health, geography, all of those things, okay? So personal finance, add that to your list. Again, you can take it anytime. If it doesn't work in your plan for next year, it's something that you can take as a junior, but it's something that you need to take before graduation, okay? The other one is your fine art credit, okay? One of those 2 has to be in the art or music department, okay? So this is a change from what it's been in the past. In the past, there were some shop classes that you could take that would meet your fine art requirement. Now, at least one of those has to be in art or music, okay? So if you're in band or choir, you're taken care of. If you are taking intro to art, you're taken care of, okay? So one of those 2 has to be in the art or music department, okay? So again, if you took cabinet and furniture A and B, would that count for your fine art requirement? You tell me? No, okay? Those are both in the industrial tech department, so that would not count. You would need 1 more credit, and it would have to be in the art department, okay? If you took intro to art and drawing and painting, would you satisfy your fine art requirement? Yes, okay? So that's a little bit of a change that's going to impact your class, okay? Is personal finance required? Yes. As you start planning out your courses, as you start thinking about what am I going to be taking junior and senior year, we also want you to start thinking about what your plans are after high school. Okay, so even for next year, you have options of what you want to do with math, with your electives, with your foreign language. So just keep this in mind that colleges oftentimes require more than what our high school requirements are. So for example, for math, the University of Minnesota requires 4 years, okay? We only require 3.5, okay? So again, think about that. Make sure you're planning ahead. Sometimes schools require a math your senior year, so just keep that in mind as you are planning out your courses. Same thing with foreign language. A lot of 4-year schools require 2 years of a foreign language, okay? Foreign language is not a high school requirement. It's not a requirement that you need for graduation, but a lot of four-year colleges do require 2 years in the same language. Same language, okay? So if you took Spanish as a freshman and French as a sophomore, would you meet that requirement for a four-year school? No, okay? So if you took Spanish 1A and 1B your freshman year, and then Spanish 2A, 2B, would you satisfy that requirement? Thank you. Yes. Okay, so 2 years, same language. Is a foreign language a high school graduation requirement? No. Okay? But again, be thinking ahead of what you want to take, planning for what you want to do. Just as a reminder, you cannot repeat classes that you have already passed. Okay, so if you took Intro to Construction this year already, and you loved it, and you got an A, you cannot take that again as a sophomore, okay? There's a ton of class offerings for you to take. In every single department, we want you to try those out, especially when it's early like this. So just know you cannot repeat those same classes. You already got everything that you need and did that project, okay? So take some different things. Make sure you are choosing your classes wisely, okay? We're giving you this information today. You're going to talk more about it in advisory and have some time to choose your classes, get a little bit more info for you, and then you've got some time to decide, okay? Once we close this window, which is January 31st, you can no longer go back and adjust your requests, okay? At that point, we need to plan with the information you gave us. So at that point, we'd only make changes based on those three things: academic need, missing graduation requirement, or if there's a conflict within your schedule, okay? So if you come back and you say, hey, I didn't read the description for whatever class, Intro to Marketing, and I just don't think it's gonna be a fit for me, I'm gonna say, sorry, that's what you registered for, that's what you chose, so you have to stay in that class, okay? And there's only a few exceptions where we would make those schedule changes. So again, try different things, try things you're interested in. If there's something you're interested in doing, try these classes now, okay? There's no penalty right now to trying different things, trying things in different departments. So again, do your best, do your research right now, take the time, talk to your parents, make sure you're choosing these classes wisely.
Okay, what's next is the post-secondary credit opportunities. So what this means is this is a huge umbrella. There's a lot of ways you can earn college credit while you're in high school. You could do it through AP, you could do it through CIS, you could do it through Articulated, you could take classes off campus at a college. There's so many different options. There is a document in your resources folder on Schoology that talks about all of these ways. You will also watch a video and advisory today about ways to stay on our campus and earn credit. So make sure that you're doing your research. The state requires us to inform you about this because yes, as sophomores, you can do some PSEO classes off campus. What I'm going to tell you about that though is if you are going to be a 10th grader and taking college classes, it has to be on a campus and transportation's not provided. And the first class has to be a career and tech ed one. So it's not going to be an English, a social science, or math. It would be a hands-on course. So let's say you want to go from vacuum technology. If you're going to do that, you go to a campus, you can take their intro course for that. And then if you are successful, you can add more in the spring. But PSEO is not the same as some of you who have siblings that are juniors and seniors. It's not the same for sophomores. Sophomores only one class, and it's a career, a career and tech ed one. So make sure that you look at this document so that you understand that. Instead of just calling and saying, hey, I want to make a PSEO meeting for these off-campus. Gentlemen, could you please stop? Thank you. Make sure that you look at this document so that way you're well informed and you don't just make an appointment and we waste your time and your parents' time by talking about something that maybe isn't what you're looking for. So look through these things so that you know what's going on and what it means. But again, there's a lot of ways you can take things like Ms. Hen talked about. AP US History is a way to earn college credit while you're in high school. Some of the articulated would be like accounting, or you have the Intro to Marketing. There's a lot of ways to earn that credit staying in our building. We talked about the places to find this information. So it's in Schoology. It's there right now. You can look at it. It's also on the website. So if you go home, your parents don't have access to Schoology. So if they're asking you a ton of questions, have them go on the website. It's right there. You should work with them on it because guess what? They can see your information. They're also able to change it now. So make sure that you're working with your parents. What we don't want is for you to register for 15 classes and then your parents go in and change 14 of them. So make sure that you have that conversation because we're not going to play the game of going back and forth between the two. Make sure that you sit down with them. They know because we don't want to have that change happen. You don't want it to happen. In advisory today, you're going to get a small bit of information about registration, and then you're going to see that video. Yes, it's open right now. You can go on and register right now. We want you to have it done by January 31st. Every year someone says, oh, you know what, hey, we can't find the registration information. The information itself is in Schoology, but you do not register in Schoology. There's no way to register in Schoology. You have to register on campus. So if you think about it, the information is in Schoology, the actual registration is on campus. Look at Schoology first, find the document on how to register, find the information that you're looking for, and then go to campus and register. Like Ms. Fogarty said, it is open. You can make changes, make wise decisions. It will stay open till the 31st. So if you go in and register today and then all of a sudden you change your mind and you want to fix it, go back and change it. Go ahead. You can until the 31st. After that, it's done. We are not making changes then. The reason we tell you that you have to do this and think wisely about it and make smart choices is because we don't have the classes, we don't have the spaces to make all these changes. Pick your classes based on what you want, not what your friends want. If you want a class, sign up for it. If you don't sign up for it, the chances of it being offered are probably slim. So make sure that if it's something you really want, you sign up for it. If for some reason it doesn't happen because there's not enough students, then we'll let you know and we'll pick one of your alternates. But sign up for what you want. That way you have a chance of getting it. Any questions for the large group? Yes. So the question is about music. If we're in choir only or band only, is health going to be an option? No. That was a discussion, but nothing is changing with the music department and the health or PE department. So no, that's not an option. It's still band or PE or choir or PE or band PE. Other good questions? Okay, if you have specific questions for us that pertain to just you, you can email us, you can come and ask us, but other